Yo, what's going on, fellas? Friday. You hear that? It's Friday, baby. Hell yeah. Welcome to the weekend. Hope you guys are doing well this morning. Day's off to a nice little start. Should be. It's Friday, baby. In case you hadn't heard, it's Friday. Let's go make sure we, of course, recap yesterday. And then let's get in some soccer bets for this weekend in the Premier League. Let's also talk some NASCAR. Got a race going down there at Dega. It's Dega, baby, down at the Talladega Super Speedway. So go ahead and toss up the recap first from yesterday. We can see yesterday was a completely swing and a miss. You had that under there in Angels versus Yankees, and Sandoval just gave up a 5-spot, to the Yankees in the first inning, and it's basically all she wrote. It was really hard to overcome that. And I don't know if you guys watched that, but that was extremely painful to watch Sandoval, pitch in the first inning. What I mean by that is, he was, after he would throw a pitch, he would do like that, like dead arm, like he would just kind of like leave his, arm kind of just like hanging. His head was dropped as if he was like, upset with his delivery and his release point, and he was, just kind of motioning to himself. He did that more times than not. His control was wild in that first inning. It's a shame because then he buckled down and, just was really dominant. Just like he has been really all season long. It's just that first inning, you saw the frustration on his face again if you were watching it. Just the way he was ending the pitches and just kind of hanging there as the umpire would call them a ball and he would put another guy on base. Boy, just painful to watch. Simply put, just painful to watch right there. Phillies F5 team total made Ryan Feltner look like an ace last night. Guy had been rocked. 3 starts coming into that. Guy had just been getting crushed, and Phillies didn't do a damn thing on him, didn't do a damn thing on that bullpen. Ryan Feltner gave up 3 hits. 3 hits. 3 hits to the number one offense. When the previous 3 times, too, he had been crushed. Just one of those bets that, just didn't quite go our way. And then, obviously, Dodgers-Cubs F5 over, that was ruined. There was a pitching change in that matchup. I'm not going to make that bet if there's a pitching change. We made that bet because there was 2 starters that had just faced each other 5 days ago. And then by the time first pitch rolled around, the Cubs decided to do a little switcheroo. And all of a sudden, you kind of lost the system. And yeah, I just wouldn't have made that bet. So that one's annoying. That one's annoying because you had a chance to still get a cash, obviously, but man, that pitching change just really sucks. So yeah, just sucked all around. Just sucked. It just sucked and pissed off by it. Let's just go ahead and jump on into the action first. Let's first go ahead and throw up this NASCAR play because, quite simply put, I'm excited to go ahead and cash this NASCAR play. I'm going to go ahead and take Gillian over Harrison Burton this weekend. That's Todd Gillian up over Harrison Burton this weekend at the Talladega Super Speedway, the Geico 500. I will go ahead and give you guys a little bit of justification for this one because, once again, William and I missed this week on the Highline podcast. So, all right, so Gillian versus Harrison Burton. Earlier this season, the Daytona 500, Gillian lost. He finished 27th. Burton finished 26th. But you'll notice going through, that's the only time Gillian had lost to Burton, and he only lost by 1 spot. At the Daytona duels, Gillian was 7th. Burton was 9th. At the Atlanta Super Speedway, Gillian was 15th. Burton was 34th. At Talladega last season, Gillian was 7th and 27th. Burton was 36th and 34th. 6 super speedways Harrison Burton has had in his career. He's had an average finish of 29 with a driver rating of 54.5. Gillian in 5 career races at the super speedway has an average finish of 23.4, much better driver rating at 70.4. And overall, their last 4 races, right? Because some of this matters, like momentum. How are you coming into the race? Momentum certainly matters. Well, Gillian's beaten him in the last 4 races, which the 5th race was the super speedway at Atlanta. So that's why I only went back 4 back, knowing that the 5th one back was the Atlanta Super Speedway, where, of course, Gillian beat Harrison Burton. At Martinsville, Gillian was 25th, Burton was 29th. At the Bristol Dirt, Gillian was 8th, Burton was 15th. At Richmond, Gillian was 15th, and Burton was 19th. And at COTA, Gillian was 10th, and Burton was 22nd. So outside of losing the Daytona 500 by 1 position, Gillian has been by far better than Burton all season long. He's been by far better at these super speedways. Why is he minus 105 and Burton is minus 120? I don't know, but I can't ignore the stats and how much better Gillian has been this season against Burton. So I'm going to go ahead and take it at minus 105 over on Caesars. Let's go ahead and toss up some soccer plays. Some of them I've already tweeted. And, of course, all of them Matt and I talked about yesterday on yesterday's episode of Between the Posts, where you can get full analysis of every Premier League game that's going on this weekend. And I also gave out my picks for the NBC Sports Predictor Contest. So if you're looking for those predictions, you can find them at the back end of that video yesterday with Matt. But I'll go ahead and roll with the 2-unit play. of Arsenal team total over a goal and a half. Parlay that with Liverpool team total over a goal and a half at minus 154. Pick that up over a Caesars for a 2-unit play. Within that Arsenal game this afternoon, taking on Southampton, I'll take Gabriel Jesus over 1.5 shots on target at plus 125. I'll take his partner right there, Saka, over 1.5 shots on target at plus 165. You've already gotten a blueprint here of how Southampton is going to play this game, because recently they've gone up against Chelsea on the road and they've gone up against Manchester City, two teams that are far superior than Southampton. You've seen Southampton concede a lot of possession of both of those opponents, and you've seen both of those opponents get a lot of shots. Obviously, Chelsea didn't come out on head. That was when they couldn't find the back of the net to save their ass, but they still had all the ball, and they were still taking all the shots. And, of course, Manchester City punished Southampton. Arsenal, we've said it all season long. If you've been watching the Premier League this season, Arsenal is Manchester City. They attack the exact same way. City, that game, had 17 shots and 8 of those on target. I don't see why Arsenal's not going to get the same here at home at the Emirates. They'll have all the ball. Southampton's going to sit back and hope they can do what they did against Chelsea, which is the reason why, I don't want to take a clean sheet with Arsenal, even though I think they keep a clean sheet, because they've got James Ward-Prowse, who I've said it time and time and again. He is the best dead ball kicker in the Premier League, is James Ward-Prowse. And I don't want to get mixed up with, that guy burying a free kick and all of a sudden ruin a clean sheet that I think Arsenal will certainly get at home here against Southampton. So, anyways, Jesus and Saka over 1.5 shots on target. Fulham team total over 1.5 plus 122 over at Caesars. And Aston Villa team total over 1.5 goals at plus 170 over at Caesars. That's how I'm rolling this week in the Premier League. That's how I'm going to roll this weekend at Talladega at the Geico 500. Look forward to watching that. It's a super speedway. That's the only concern, obviously, is the super speedways. And God, if Gillian gets caught up in a wreck, then, he gets caught up in a wreck. But Harrison Burton's been really bad at these super speedways. So, he could also obviously, get caught up in a wreck at a super speedway. So, Burton, or if Gillian can, finish on the lead lap when the checkered flag is flown, he'll beat Harrison Burton. So, love that one over there at minus 105. Do got some bets to give out there on the payoff pitch. We'll, of course, hold those for about the next 9 minutes when Squirrel and I break down this entire MLB slate. Obviously, look to have a good day there in the MLB. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Ryan? How's it going there, fellas? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Obviously, he did not have obviously went 0-3 yesterday at baseball, so naturally the People's Parlay was nowhere close. Although it did go 1 for 3, it didn't go 0 for 3. It did go 1 for 2, I should say. Total of 3 picks were in there. Ryan Feltner, man, a 3-hit shutout against the Phillies. I didn't see that coming. And not against the number one offense, and not the way the back of his baseball card looked. I did not see Feltner throwing the ball like that. And then, man, that Cubs-Dodgers, as soon as that pitching change came out, I did not feel comfortable with that bet at all as soon as that pitching change happened. But, I mean, what can you do? Not much you can do about it. Really not much you can do about it. Not much you can do about it. Now there is that same thing going on today. We'll, of course, talk about it on the payoff pitch. So, hopefully we can be lucky today, fellas. Just hopefully we can have some luck go our way, and the stats can win today. Hopefully the stats can win. Stats don't win all the time, but hopefully today that the stats can play out and things can go our way. So love the optimism there, Ed. You guys got anything? What are you guys up to this weekend? Well, it's gonna be a busy weekend for me. I've mentioned moving. We were supposed to move August 1st. It's April 21st, and we're moving this coming Tuesday. Finally moving. Can't wait to get a studio. Can't wait. So finally making a move. So that's will be going on this weekend. It'll be getting ready for the big move. Hopefully you guys will have a much better weekend than that, because it's moving. You guys know everybody usually gets frustrated and everybody's usually pissed off during moving. It's never a smooth process, right? I think it's a good process, right? You get to throw away some crap, and it's always fun setting up the new house and what have you, but it always comes with a lot of stress. So hopefully you guys will definitely have a better time than I. Hopefully I can just be ringing the cash register throughout the weekend. That'll ease the pain. Ease the pain if I can ring that cash register throughout the entire weekend. So see how that goes. You're moving your cows out to pasture for the summer. Nice, Tyler. I got a feeling I would love that kind of work. I grew up doing landscaping. I owned my own business growing up. At one point, I was mowing 19 lawns a week. No shit. You can ask anybody who I grew up with. I was mowing 19. I would bring my pickup truck and my trailer to school as a high school, park it in the parking lot, and then just go straight from school to mow grass. I had 2 kids that had worked for me. I was mowing 19 lawns a week. I love the outdoors. I got a feeling I would like taking the cows out to the pasture. It seems like work that would be right up my alley if I had to take a guess. The new spot is definitely bigger, Adrian. Yeah, everybody's got their own bedroom. The kids got their own playroom. I get a studio as opposed to where I am right now. When our second child was born, I got booted from the studio. It was just a bedroom. And I got put in the master bedroom. So, yeah, finally out of the master bedroom, get my own space. Yeah. Let's have a great money-making weekend. I'm going to try like hell, Brian. I'm going to try like hell, man. I'm going to try like hell, like I always do. I hope I'll start streaking today, man. I hope. Good luck trying to find a new house. I hope to help you get that, man. I try like hell, man. Trying. That sounds awesome, Tyler. That sounds great, man. That sounds great. Yeah. That's the truth right there. All right, we got 5 minutes. Let's see if we can't find ourselves a hockey squirrel here. I need baseball to be cool today. Fellas. Hell, need that soccer to be cool too. Not just baseball. Need it all just to be cool. I did not enjoy last night whatsoever. Nah, I didn't enjoy that. I slept like shit. My son was waking me up every 20 minutes. Not a good night. Not a good night, fellas. But you know what? I'm always generally a positive person. I'm always generally happy. I'll always remain that, even though it is down. But, yeah. Yeah, last night was tough. To say the least. So, all right, let's go find ourselves a hockey squirrel. We'll come back. We now got 4 minutes. Hang tight, fellas. Let's talk this baseball slate. 15 games, all 30 teams in action. See if we can't find ourselves some winner. I'll be right on back. Hey there, everybody. Welcome on to Friday's episode here of the Payoff Pitch, live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, powered by BetUS, where you win more and lose less. What's going on there, Squirrel, on a great Friday?
Hey, got a lot going on again. Stayed up very late in order to complete something. I sent you actually a picture of what I completed, and it was quite the undertaking, quite the project. As you saw, I completed a very, very complicated, complex MLB data model. So the quality of the plays are going to be getting significantly better. Um, I had to purchase data sets to complete it. It's not generally like general public information that you can just go to Fangraphs and uh, grab for free, or go to MLB.com and get some historical data sets. This is no longer comparing a pitcher's stats to like last season or something like that. Like, this is very very time intensive stuff. It goes through the opponent's relieving bullpen, takes all of the projected relievers that are going to play today, all of their basically projected first singles, doubles, home runs expected, adds them to the starter with the offensive strength of the team, and does a lot of calculations and comes up with some pretty accurate plays there. So that's going to be some more closely guarded stuff, but I will definitely share picks. So
All right, cool. Look forward to seeing what you got then, and keep swinging. Quick hits for me. My opening thoughts. Let's get right on into my opening thoughts. Let's just get right on into this shit. Let's keep on rolling here and around the bases. Second inning. We're going to take a couple games, break them down, and give you guys some bets along the way. How do you want to kick off the show, Squirrel?
let's see. I think the most recent bet that I just took this morning, I'm mostly on a lot of totals. I don't really have many money lines that I've looked at particularly yet today. Uh, from the things that I've modeled, though, the White Sox and the Rays was one that I did bet just a bit ago at over 8.5 minus 115, and I'm now seeing it's 9, but not juiced very much. It's juiced to the under, actually, which, when a number flips, that's really what happens. If it goes from over 8.5 juiced, it'll be juiced to the under 9. But I took over 8.5 minus 115. The reason I did that for the Rays, you know how I think it's Jalen Beeks who does that one inning thing for the Rays a lot of times?
Mm-hmm.
Or he'll go 1 or 2 innings and they take him out. It looks like that's what they're starting to do with this guy, Kelvin Foucher.
Mm-hmm.
Not really somebody that was in my data sets. I mean, he's in there, but he's not expected to start many games. So that kind of threw off the projections a bit. So I had to do some tweaking there. He'll go against Michael Kopech. So you expect a bullpen day for the Tampa Bay Rays there. So, I'm sure they have a good bullpen, though.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the White Sox having trouble with their bullpen, but they still do rack up hits. So, in terms of total, I couldn't say I'd be comfortable on an under, and for the fact I'm already getting value from where I purchased the line is agreement, and I like it when that happens. That's beating the closing line, and when you beat the closing line, that turns into positive EV, and long term, that turns into you win. So there's my first game of the day. Is White Sox and Rays over 8.5.
White Sox and Rays over 8.5 for the Squirrel to go ahead and kick off the show. Let's talk about this Padres versus Diamondbacks matchup that's going to be taking place tonight in Phoenix. Tough one, right? They got the line about minus 115 for the Diamondbacks. You can get the Padres at about minus 104. From a bullpen perspective, I mean, this game should be the Padres to go ahead and win this game late. We talk about a top 5 bullpen going on against a bottom 3 bullpen. A lot of discrepancies in the numbers. The biggest one is opponent's batting average, where the Padres come in with second best, but the Diamondbacks have the worst opponent's batting average. So that's just one of the many discrepancies that we're talking about. We're talking top 5 versus bottom 3 here. A little bit of concern, though, with this Padres team and the bullpen. You're likely not going to see a Josh Hader, and likely not going to see one of their good setup man in Tim Hill, because both of those guys have pitched the previous 2 days do they going to push him to a third day in a row? Should this game be tight, and should they need a Hader? Should they need a Tim Hill? You don't generally see relievers pitch on 3 consecutive days, so that's where maybe the bullpen, huge advantage that the Padres have could maybe be nullified just by some of these top reliever guys getting rest. So I'll be curious on that one. From an offensive standpoint, though, Padres, right? We're talking Tatis, we're talking Soto and Machado and Bogarts. Those guys and Tatis, Soto, and Machado, they went 0 for 13 yesterday. This guys ain't going 0 for 13 again today. I can tell you that right there. So I'm looking forward to a nice bounce back day with those Padres bats, even though they did get 7 runs. The top 3 guys didn't do a damn thing in getting those 7 runs. So that was encouraging that the bottom half of the order kind of stepped up and shined last night. We talk about from a starter perspective, you got Seth Lugo taking on Zach Gallen. Lugo has been great. Great versus the Rockies, great versus the Braves. Now he does come off a bad outing against the Brewers. So was that just a single trip up, or maybe is he trending, kind of in the wrong direction, where a guy that was once in the bullpen last season with the Mets is now being transitioned to a starter here for the Padres? He's going to be opposed by Zach Gallen on the mound. 2 bad outings versus the Dodgers and Padres. I like that. One of his bad outings was already against these Padres this season. And then he was good against the Brewers and Marlins his last 2 outings out. And then he's obviously faced the Padres a ton in 2022, being a divisional matchup. Mixed success. Some good outings and some bad outings. So I think the Padres, minus 104. They're a dog today up against the Diamondbacks. Not too sure about that one. So I'd be looking pretty heavily at the Padres today to knock off the Diamondbacks. What's another game you want to talk about, Squirrel?
I'll talk about this from the total aspect, and I'll probably revisit to something later here, but or in a later inning in the same game. But I'll look at the Oakland Athletics and the Texas Rangers when I was flipping through everything. Basically, the way that I have this data model built is that it takes the batting order. So I'm looking at literally every single player that's going to come up to bat and what their projections are for that game, summing it all up, and then pitting that against not only the starting pitcher, but the entire relieving bullpen. So we're factoring every single player's stats and summing it all up, which is crazy. It's a lot of work. So while I was doing that, I was going through a lot of the Oakland players, and I was sitting there thinking, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? There's just a lot of players that aren't as popular. Maybe they're newer players I just haven't really, I'm not familiar with as much as the Rangers roster, but also those numbers are a lot better for the Rangers. I think that will get you a lot of runs. Also, I think the Athletics are working with a pretty short bullpen due to a lot of IL, a lot of 15 and 60-day IL stuff. So where everyone else generally has 8 healthy relievers to go with, they only have 7 that I could find right now on their depth chart. So that leads me to Oakland and Rangers combining for about 9 runs, and I took over 8. So I was about a full run above there. So that is why I took that one. You can still get this line at over 8 minus 120, which isn't absolutely awful when all things considered. I expect the Rangers to match the Athletics, which is why I say I'm coming back to it probably in a later inning there. But it's not totally where I have it priced. So like minus 200, I think, is overpriced for the Rangers, but I definitely expect them to win in that game. But if you're still looking for a pick there, over 8 is probably where I would go. Where I did go, actually.
Over 8 between the Athletics and Rangers. That's one of the matchups when I was breaking down this slate and handicapping it. I look forward to talking about that matchup coming up a little bit later in rapid fire at the end of the show. I want to transition now to the Tigers and the Orioles. I think through the first 5 innings, I think this Baltimore Orioles team should be winning against the Detroit Tigers. From an offensive wise, some of the Orioles are just significantly better than the Detroit Tigers. They're top 10 across all the major categories, which across the same major categories, the Tigers are bottom 10 in the hitting categories. And of course, we're talking versus right-handed pitching. The reason you want to focus on just the first 5 innings is because the Orioles bullpen, outside of Bautista, their big closer, the bullpen's been full-on struggling, where the Tigers' bullpen has been nice and consistency. Love the way A.J. Hinch is managing that bullpen this season. So that's why we're focusing in on the top 5 right here. The Orioles, to go along with being better and your hitting, your slugging, your OPS, and all that good stuff, they have a very high walk rate. It's the 3rd highest walk rate and a very low K percentage at eighth best K percentage. So I just love what they're doing right there at the plate versus right-handed pitching. Starter perspective, you get Lorenzen versus Tyler Wells of the Baltimore Orioles. Wells should just be able to match Lorenzen, if not do a little bit better. So you're getting, I think, maybe the better starter, but even if not, even if it's an even starter, now we're just getting a much significant better offense here in the Baltimore Orioles. A Baltimore Orioles team that we know ranks second in stolen bases in the Major League Baseball. They look to get on base and look to create a lot of problem and a lot of havoc when they get on base. So I think the Orioles at minus 115 to be leading through the first 5 innings is a nice look. Let's shut up and pitch now, where we give you guys some pitching props. Squirrel, you got anybody on the mound today you're targeting?
Sure. When I made it through this game, I'm looking for the Giants to win the game, I believe it was. Let me take a look here. I always want to make sure I'm giving you correct information. Yeah, so you get this kid, Joey Lucchesi. I don't know. I'm not overly familiar, but the projection's grayed out to about 2 strikeouts, and you can get under 4.5 there over. Or I'll be like you. You used to do this. I don't think you do it as much anymore, but up on FanDuel, you can get minus 130. Put some cash up in your pocket. You remember those phrases you used to have? That was pretty cool.
That's right.
Gotta bring some of those back. But Joey Lucchesi there to get hit by the Giants, or at least not get 5 strikeouts. Under 4.5 there is a good projection for that.
Wow, that seems that 5 number is 5. This is why some people ask you, like, baseball, it takes a while to handicap, and that's one I hadn't seen that number. Him to hit 4.5. Wow, yeah, you wouldn't think that kid's going to get you 5. I mean, the guy hasn't even pitched in 2 seasons. He's been injured. This is going to be his first appearance since 2021. And Giants don't no longer really strike out. Interesting one right there. Like that one. Hey, I'm going to focus in on this Dodgers and Cubs matchup for my first pitching prop. Drew Smiley, they're the Chicago Cubs. I think he's going to stay under 4.5 Ks today at plus 116. It's a system play. You get a repeat pitching matchup, as we just saw this one play out in LA last week. Not interested in the F5 over as last night. A, I got screwed due to a pitching change. And B, it's at 5.5, which is a high number. And yeah, after the Cubs screwed me last night doing some switcheroo, I don't feel like going right there. So Drew Smiley to stay under 4.5 Ks, looking for him to repeat what Bailey Falter did for us a couple weeks ago in the same system play. Recent pitching performance 5 days ago, he went 5.2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, and 3 Ks. Is he going to be better? Or is he going to do that? Sure, do that, and I'll get a good plus 116 cash. I don't expect you to even do that or be better. I expect you to be a little bit worse up against this Los Angeles Dodgers team. So I'm going to take Drew Smiley under 4.5 Ks at plus 116. You got another one, Squirrel?
Yeah, I'd like to take Yusei Kikuchi of the Toronto Blue Jays there today, also to go under on his strikeouts, and that is 5.5. Again, pretty close to minus 130, minus 128 best price on FanDuel. 5.5 against the Yankees seems like a bit much. I don't think he's a huge strikeout pitcher, not one that I would think of as a strikeout pitcher, like when I think of like Spencer Strider or something like that. It might be a bit of an overreaction to his last 2 games where he got 6 and then 9. But if you go back further, through 2022, he's always been really typically around 1 to 5. So, I think sports books don't try very hard on props. So it's not a very, I don't know, what do they call it? Like liquid market. There's not a lot of liquidity in it. So the Lions generally aren't as sharp. They don't try very hard to make them super sharp because they're not accepting a lot of money on them. Really, I think they just kind of sum up the season stats and then take the mean or median of that, one of the two, I don't remember, but that's really how they come up with their numbers. So they don't try very hard to do that. So I just think it's an overreaction there of the 6 and 9 that he just got in his last 2 games. But if you don't expect that to continue, and the Yankees are very well expected to win today, they're at home. Hopefully he gets hit and he gets pulled out of the game pretty soon. But under 5.5 there for Kikuchi is what I would like to take.
Yeah, he obviously saw those Yankees 4 times last season, would have gotten the cash, and 2 of those 4 got roughed up in a couple of those outings versus the Yankees. So, yeah, see if the Yankees can't knock him out early and give yourself a good under 5.5 cash. I'm going to go ahead and look for my next pitching prop. I'm going to look for Mitch Keller to go ahead and put some money in my pocket today. I'm going to look for him to throw over 19.5 pitches in the first inning at plus 170. The Reds are third in Major League in pitches per plate appearance at 4.07. The Reds to go along with that are 11th in walks per game. Keller has had a little bit of trouble with these walks. He's walked 2 batters in each game. The Reds had the second best ground into double play rate. They only ground into .47 double plays per game. So you got to love that, right? We're getting on base, we're seeing a lot of pitches, and we're not grounding into double plays. We're the second best team in Major League Baseball is avoiding a double play, so I like that. Keller's had 4 starts so far in 2023. The number of pitches he's thrown in the first inning are 22, 21, 11, and 27. And one of those times he's already faced the Reds this season, where he got 22 pitches in that start. So I'll look for Mitch Keller to give us a good plus 170 cash of staying over 19.5 pitches thrown in the first inning. It's 4th inning. It's called long shots. We like to give you guys a dog of the day. What's your dog of the day, Squirrel?
I'm gonna have you start this one today.
Okay, let's keep the conversation here with the Reds and the Pirates. I'm going to go ahead and take the Reds today at plus 125. I'm getting the better starter, and Ashcraft pitched up against Mitch Keller. Boy, is Ashcraft having a really nice start to his season so far. Look for him to keep it going against the Pirates. I'm getting the better bullpen across the board in the numbers, with the Reds bullpen being outperforming the Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen. Offense, even. You look up the stats. While they'll flip-flop of who's better, but even when they flip-flop, the numbers are very, very close. For example, one bats 250, the other one bats 248. So there's really no discrepancy in hitting versus right-handers. It's pretty even. So I'll take the better starter in Ashcraft. I'll take the better bullpen in the Reds, and I think the Reds, the underdog today at plus 125, is going to be the best one today on the board.
I'm not finding much, man. I'm not.
No underdogs today. No bark today.
Okay.
All right, no bark today. No bark.
For underdog, sorry. I thought we were still talking about the batters. I was looking for batters. I'm behind, dude.
I know you got a dog out there that's got some bark in it. Which one, Squirrel? Come on.
Oh, boy. I've really massively done totals. I've overly done totals. Yeah, I don't. Nothing crazy in the underdog category today. So.
Okay. Did you tease us? I think in
maybe,
quick hits you had some.
Are you
hitters.
Would you roll with the Reds? I would against Mitch Keller probably.
Yeah, I just gave it out.
You just talked about.
Gave it out.
Oh, dude, I thought we were on the batter category, aren't we? Or is that the next one? I'm all like.
That's the next one. We're still on long shots, and my long shot was the Reds at plus 125.
Yeah, the Reds then. The Reds, I was looking for batters, man. I'm behind today. So I have no batters. We'll go with the Reds for the long shot. Yes, that is a good one.
Okay, I'll give you guys some batters. What about Charlie Blackmon? He's 8 for 21 in his career against Aaron Nola. That's an average of 381 with 2 doubles and 2 home runs. And he's hitting 281 on the season, so gotta like that, right? Own Nola. Got a good batting average coming into this game. Got a good rest yesterday as they faced a left-hander, so he'll be back in the lineup today. Look for Charlie Blackmon of the Colorado Rockies to deliver you guys a hit. And look at Mookie Betts, I think, to also kind of go ahead and give you guys a hit. He's 11 for 31 off Drew Smyly. That's to the tune of 355. He's got 4 doubles and 2 home runs off of him, and he's hitting 273 on the season, so I absolutely love that. If you want a couple of extra guys, you can look at Francisco Lindor. He's 8 for 15 against Dave Scalfani. He's not a great batting average on the season. That's why I like Blackmon and Betts a little more. And the same story there with Gleyber Torres or DJ LeMahieu, for quite frankly, up against Kikuchi. One's 8 for 18, and the other one's 7 for 19, but not the great batting average on the season as Blackmon and Betts. That's why I like those two guys better. They're performing better this season, and they've both done good against today's respective starter. And the bullpens that they'll be facing have a pretty bad opponent's batting average at 258 and 220. If they haven't done it yet off the starters, there's a good chance they can get a hit off these bullpens, and they're the away team, so we know we're batting all 9 innings. So Blackmon and Betts for me, plus 120 is the price for them to get 1 hit each in a parlay. 6th inning, it's a steal. What do you got today that's a steal, Squirrel?
Well, a lot of my stuff focuses on beating closing lines, as you know. I took a game under 8, and that was in the Nationals and Twins at 7.5. But the projections are still below that, even, believe it or not. I don't think that the Nationals obviously are real. What's the word? You can't really count on it, I think is the word. um, yeah. Why can't I think of the word? Yeah, you can't really count on the Nationals, though, I don't think, for offense. And I think the Twins have struggled there as well. We've talked about the Twins' relieving bullpen being pretty good. You get Trevor Williams and Tyler Mahle today. I'm already beating the line by a half a point, though, and that's really where my values derive. So um, I'll say under 8 there in that game. If you're looking at that from maybe, I don't know, a first 5 standpoint or something like that, I don't know if the Nationals and Twins is anything that you've dug into today.
Yep, I was going to get to that one, obviously, in rapid fire. I thought that was possibly the second best dog today on the board because you get a Nationals bullpen that is outperforming that Twins bullpen by far. If you look at Trevor Williams, not a guy that you come into the season thinking you're going to tail all that often, but give the guy credit. He's off to a nice little start. So I kind of like the Nationals today at plus 195. I thought they were a good worthy of a dog from an offensive standpoint. When you do compare these two offenses, they're both struggling for sure. I mean, you got to give them that. But I do think you're getting possibly maybe the better starter just on who's performing so far in 2023. But you're definitely getting the better bullpen. So that game could stay tight and maybe look for the Nationals to maybe pull it off. But either way, the under could be a good play with these offenses. So I like it right there. My 6th inning, it's a steal. I like to give out the NRFI of the day. I'm doing Mets and Giants. Mets and Giants, you can find it at about minus 110. The Mets are 29th in the majors of runs scored in the first inning at .2. The Giants are 12th at .67. Giant starter today, Dave Scalfani. He's been perfect so far in his 3 starts. He's had 3 starts, no hits, no walks, and 5 Ks. That's what you want when you're talking about a NRFI right there. Not getting anybody on base right there. Love that. And then Mets starter, you've kind of mentioned him. The guy hasn't made an appearance in 2 years. Really don't know what the hell we're going to get with him. But I do know the Giants aren't doing a great job at hitting left-handers. So hoping that he can come through. And that could be the NRFI of the day at around minus 110 between the Mets and the Giants. Coming to a stretch here. Coming to a stretch. What is your best bet, Squirrel?
If you just need a win.
Yes, I do. Yes. Dialed in quite heavily to this segment. Speaking dirty to me, I need a win. What is it?
It's a parlay piece. Probably I'll throw it in double play as well. But I'm doing something with the Texas Rangers there. I can't get behind paying minus 200. So I don't know if you want to run line it where I'm already on the over, so I expect runs there, at least 9. But I really can't get over the fact that I didn't really recognize a lot of the Athletics players. The bullpen is really injured there for the Oakland, and the Rangers just grade out so much better in terms of stats. Per player for the pitchers, for the bullpens, everything is just a lot better there for Texas. So I'm probably going to throw that in a parlay with somebody else for the double play, but that's the most likely to win that I have today.
Okay, so just the money line. Okay, cool. And Texas
Or
Rangers.
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna straight bet it, you could try a run line, but I think it's a better parlay piece, if I'm being honest.
Are they giving you that run line at plus money, or what are they giving it to you at? Do you know?
Yeah, basically even odds is about the best you can do. Yes.
About even odds. Okay, cool. All right, for my best bet today, I'm going back to the Rays team that has kind of treated me fairly well over the course of the season. I like their FI team total today. It comes in at plus money for over 2.5 runs, talking about this White Sox team that he's going to be going up against. We already know the Rays are just offensive-wise. They're just damn good. Top 3 offense, right? 278, 333, and 394 is their slash line. I mean, sign me up, man. That's a top 3 offense against right-handers. They've just been good. They're going to be opposed by Michael Kopech today. They're the Chicago White Sox. His ERA is 6.32. His WHIP is 1.66. He's already given up 7 home runs in 15.2 innings, and he's also already walked 10 batters so far this season. And in every start, he has walked at least 3 batters. That's going to be extremely trouble. If he's bringing that same shit command into this game and walking 3 Rays with the power that they have, with their on-base percentage and already with their batting average, This smells like a trouble here for Michael Kopech going up against this Rays offense. So I can't ignore it. It's at plus money. It's over 2.5 runs. Look for them to score 3+ runs in the first 5 to deliver us a good cash. 8th inning, parlay time. That's what we do here in double play. You've already teased us with the Rangers. Who are you adding to that?
I'm going to go with a team I like that's a little bit less juicy. That is the New York Yankees at home there against Kikuchi. Um, I don't know if he'll get absolutely dominated. That's not necessarily what I'm saying, but I have him to go under the strikeouts. You're in a Yankee ballpark with the fans and all that, the home field advantage and everything, and it grades out to be. I have it around -140. The game opened yesterday -115. I didn't catch it in time because of the fact that I was so heavily focused on completing the rest of that data model. But yeah, I do like the Yankees there today in what it should be a good matchup anyway. So if you take two of those teams, you take the Rangers most likely to win there against the Athletics, and the Yankees. Sorry, you get about a +160 for a 2-teamer on that.
All right, that's going to be your 2-teamer. My 2-teamer today is going to be this Rays. I've already talked about how they should be able to hit Kopech, and then you talk about their pitching. I love it. It's a bullpen day. I love Kevin Cash, the way he manages this pitching staff every single season. All their starters are good. All their bullpen pieces are good. They grade out excellent coming out of the bullpen. So bring me on this bullpen day. And then why not parlay them with the Angels? I mean, nobody hits Ohtani. We kind of talked about him when we took that Red Sox FI team total. I think that was on Monday or late last week, whatever. Oh, yeah, it was that Boston Marathon day. So whatever it was, Ohtani's last start. I mean, he was great. Unfortunately, his outing got shortened there due to the rain. But a Royals team that can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag, yeah, they ain't going to do shit off Ohtani today. So, yeah, sign me up for a Rays Angels moneyline parlay at +115. All right, we got to go ahead and throw some bets here up on the screen. Let me toss yours up, and then also let me get mine up. I hadn't had anything up on the screen. Then, of course, we got rapid fire, where it's time to run through all these games and talk about them here from a money line, run line, and over-under perspective. Here are your bets if you want to run through them while I get mine up.
Sure. None of these are still achievable, just so you know. Just a warning. All these do go out to all the people in my Discord service. So it is a monthly service available at hockeysquirrel.com. The main focus there is plus EV bets or positive EV bets. So none of these are made with opinion, and they are all sent directly to your mobile device or PC device of your choosing, and they're real time. So when I make the bets, they get sent out, and you can grab them. That's all you have to do is place the bets. So if you were in the Discord, you would have gotten the Tigers and Orioles over 8.5. I do believe it's now 9. Nationals Twins under 8 at 7.5, right? So all these are beating the closing line by a half a run at this point, and that's what you look to do in order to be a profitable long-term sports bettor. So I just went real heavy on a lot of totals so far today. If you're looking for a good money line, I think that the Yankees would probably get you there on top of that. But
all right, as of now, you can see I'm just going to go ahead and roll with 3 bets and take some more time to kind of go through everything and, well, see if there's anything worth betting and adding, or maybe just keep it to these 3 bets. But Drew Smiley under 4.5 Ks at +116. Keller's going to throw 20 or more pitches in that first inning at +170. And that Rays F5 team total is your best bet on the board. Over 2.5 runs at +105. Let's hit all these games from moneyline, run line, and over-under perspective. We call it rapid fire. It all kicks off here with Dodgers and Cubs with an over-under of 9.5. You got Dodgers at -155, Cubs at +135. What are you thinking here, Squirrel?
Yesterday I tried to take an over 11, and then there was a pitching change, so it voided my ticket, and then
Could have used
Assad
that.
came in. Yeah, so then the game didn't go over because there was we were looking at 15-mile-an-hour wind out. I don't know what the wind's doing today at Wrigley, but we were talking about how they don't put out the lines until the day of, or really the morning or early afternoon of. I saw that again last night, which is why I didn't handicap the game, so to speak, with any data modeling or anything, because there was no line to compare to. So. I don't know what the wind is doing there today or anything, but probably I would stick with an over again. It's 9.5, a little bit lower than the 11 I was trying to take yesterday. So wind must be died down a tad, or blowing in a different direction or something. I think that was a large reason for it. But I'll go with the over.
Yeah, as I said yesterday, you don't get over-unders on Cubs games at home the night before. That I have 10 years, I don't think I've ever seen one. Just to give you an update here on what the weather is, because I looked it up while you were talking. Yesterday it was 17 miles an hour out, and we saw an over-under of 11. Today we get the same wind blowing out, and it's going to be around 11 to 12 miles an hour throughout the entire game, but it is still blowing dead straight out the center, 11 to 12 miles an hour.
Yep. I'll take it over 9.5.
Yeah, I like the over 9.5. Sign me up. Again, it's a system play. We got a repeat pitching performance. As long as the Cubs don't do any more switcheroo. I could have used that voided that you got last night, but I don't know, wherever I bet it last night, they weren't as kind to whatever your book is. I got graded a loss, unfortunately. So, all right, let's be cool. Let's throw.
So did you bet action? Because I know this is a thing with baseball is that they've started to screw with making bets action, and then I heard rumors before the season started that they were going to make it so that you had to pay extra juice in order to bet listed pitcher.
Yeah, you can only get that though on full game money lines and full game over unders at F5 over like props ain't, they're not giving you any of that, but you're right. If you're taking a full game prop over under money line, you can select the listed pitcher to give yourself a little bit, I guess, cover there.
Great.
All right, we get the Reds and the Pirates here with an over-under of 8.5. You get the Reds at plus 125. Pirates coming at minus 145. I'm not interested in over-under here. I'm really sticking to the Reds and about this damn close to adding the Reds to my card at plus 125.
Yeah, I am too. I'll probably go back and look at that one from a money line perspective, and if it comes out to be pretty close in there, yeah, I would look at the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, the Pirates have the second worst opponent's batting average right now at that bullpen at 2.95. Their BABIP is 376, which is god-awful. The Reds check in at the top 10 in both of those categories. They get the starter, they get the bullpen advantage. This close to pulling the trigger there on Reds money line, plus 125. White Sox and Rays over-under of 9. White Sox plus 145. Rays minus 170. Mentioned it's a bullpen day for the Rays, taking on Kopech. Rays are going to win the game. They could cover this 9 all by themselves because when they're done beating the shit out of Kopech, let's trot in a bottom 5 bullpen of the White Sox. I mean, the run should just keep coming. I almost double dipped and did a full game team total at over 4.5 runs at minus 113. I still may double dip before first pitch comes around, but it's going to be the Rays for me all day. What about for you?
I gave out over 8.5 here on the show, and while we've been talking and doing the show, it has reached 9. So if you got it earlier, good job. Congratulations.
So you like over? You gave out. Let me see. You gave out over 8. Yeah, I'm seeing over 9. So yeah, but now the juice is heavily juiced to the under. So that's one of those where it could yo-yo back to 8.5 here at some point because I've got the over at even money with under 9 at minus 120.
Yep.
Rockies and Phillies over under of 8.5. Rockies plus 260. Phillies minus 315. Nola's on the mound versus Davis. I know people are obviously going to gravitate towards the Phillies, and that's why they're minus 315. They didn't do a damn thing last night. Hopefully that was just a one-off because obviously their bat's still grayed out, really stinking good. Noah Davis, 1 start on the season. Pretty damn good. I mean, the Phillies should win the game. I don't want that bullpen, though. The past couple times we've taken them, we've been focused on F5s, team total, F5 run lines. Like, I don't want that bullpen ever for the Phillies. I'm just going to take over 8.5. When I looked up Charlie Blackmon, there were some other guys. Cronworth, he's got a nice little average off Aaron Nola, and so did Bryant as well. There's a few Rockies that actually grade out pretty good against Nola, so I'll take the over 8.5.
I'm going to go under 8.5.
Okay. Tigers and Orioles over under of 9. Tigers plus 150. Orioles come in at minus 175. Again, I really like the Orioles through the first 5. I don't want to mess around with that Tigers bullpen. I'm going to say over 9, but really like the Orioles F5 here.
Yeah, I already have over 8.5. I took that yesterday at 6 p.m. Over 8.5 at minus 110.
Over 9 is the current number. Good.
It's good.
Blue Jays and Yankees over under of 8.5. Blue Jays plus 115. Yankees coming in here at minus 135. They're facing another left-hander, which yesterday, somebody's going to sit here and I'm sure they'll rag on my pick here at some point. I've already heard it enough last night to be quite honest when my under 8.5 didn't come through. But they didn't do a damn thing off of left-handed pitching, just like their numbers suggest. They got lucky that Sandoval couldn't find the strike zone all early on, and then the runs that they did tack on late in the game was against a right-hander. They're still not hitting left-handed pitcher. I'm going to trust that they're going to not hit left-handers today. Again, I'm going Blue Jays money line at plus 115.
I'm going Yankees money line, and then I'll take the over 8.5 as well.
Marlins and Guardians over under of 7.5. Marlins at plus 110. Guardians here at minus 130. Plesac up against Garrett. Garrett was a guy that I really liked last season. We were able to back him a few times. What's off with this Guardians team? Not hitting lefties, can't hit righties. Garrett's a tough one. Plesac can certainly give up some hard contact. I like the Marlins today at plus 110.
I'm looking through my bet slips right now at my sports books because for some reason I have this game highlighted, but I don't know. It doesn't appear that I bet it. Must have been looking at under 8.5 when it opened, and it's 7.5 now, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know what I was looking at. I highlighted it, but I didn't bet it. So
highlighted.
I think an under was what I was looking at.
At 7.5 is a low total. It's because of the Guardians. I mean, obviously the Marlins, not like they swing a hot bat in their own right. But the Guardians, yeah, just, I don't know. Just not doing a damn thing. Not doing a damn thing. So, all right, so you like an under in that one?
Well, it's dropped a full run. I mean, yeah, it was 8.5 when it opened yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, so. Both these bullpens grade out pretty good, to be quite honest. So I could see this. I could see this one staying under for sure. With the way the Guardians, yeah. Could see it staying under, but I like the Marlins. I like the Marlins a little bit more at plus 110. Astros and Braves over under of 9. Astros come in at minus 105. Braves check in at minus 115. So kind of a coin flip game here. I'm taking the better offense. I'm taking the better bullpen. Starter wise, Elder has shown it this season. Remember, he was really good earlier this season up against that Cardinals team. So I'll go ahead and take the Braves at basically a coin flip game.
Yeah, I don't see anything either way. Maybe an under. What's the best you can do here? Under 9. You can get under 9. That's at Caesars, and there's a offshore as well. Yeah, I'll go under 9. The Astros and Braves.
Under 9 there for you. Athletics and Rangers with an over-under of 8. Athletics plus 175. Rangers minus 205. This one's an interesting game. Mentioned the Yankees and how they struggled versus left-handers, and they didn't do a thing against left-handers yesterday, despite the fact that they put up 9 runs. Here comes a Rangers team that can't hit left-handers. Here comes J.P. Sears, which has got some good numbers on the back of the baseball card. So he can silence this Rangers team. And then you get John Gray on the mound. And he's pretty damn good in his own right. Big, tall, lengthy kid. Athletics can't do a damn thing. I kind of like the under here for sure. I definitely like the under. Do I take a stab at the Athletics at plus 175? I don't know. But I do like the under 8. I do like the under 8.
Yeah, I couldn't recommend it today on the Athletics, but I took the over though. I mean, so I'm not on a money line or anything, but I fully expect the Rangers to win. I would be shocked if they don't, but anything can happen. Obviously, you see it every single day. So, but I have nothing pointing to the Athletics to back that at all. So.
What gives me encouragement here for the under is Sears limiting the Rangers' bats, keeping this game nice and low scoring. Rangers have a great bullpen across the board. Athletics, not a really great bullpen, but if we can keep the game close and get our good arms in the bullpen, I think this game stays under 8. So that's why I like the under 8. And that one, Nationals and Twins, over under of 7.5. Nationals at plus 195. Twins at minus 230. I'm going to stick to this second favorite underdog today of mine. I'm going Nationals plus 195.
Yeah, and I had a total on this, the under 8, and it's 7.5. So,
oh yeah,
doing well there.
Doing well there, I would say so. Red Sox and Brewers over under of 8.5. Red Sox at plus 145. Brewers come in at minus 170. You get Peralta versus Pivetta. That smells like a pitching advantage there for the Brewers. So much that I like the Brewers at minus 170.
Let me see, Brewers. A game that I haven't really looked into. I know I bet the Red Sox against the Twins yesterday, and that was a pretty good blowout. So they're coming off of a blowout win. You're taking the Brewers, you said, on the money line?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of juice. Don't know. Don't have an opinion really, particularly either way it goes. Not something I looked at. So.
Royals and Angels, over under of 8.5. You've got plus 235 for the Royals. Angels at minus 280. Taking the Angels on the run line at minus 130.
Yeah, well, and you're going to have an overinflated line with Ohtani, but I'm not familiar with Taylor Clark at all, and I don't think the Royals would be as good as the Angels. So either run line play, but I don't have an opinion on the total either. So probably another skip.
Padres, wow. I did the research. The Padres.
Are you Owen Wilson? Was that your Owen Wilson impression?
No. When I did the research, when I gave out the Padres in around the bases, when I was talking about liking that Padres money line, they were the dog at minus 104. That has completely flipped in the 43 minutes we've been sitting here. Now the Diamondbacks are a dog at minus 105, and the Padres are favored at minus 115 with an over/under of 9.5. Yeah, I like the Padres. I talked about that in around the bases, so give me the Padres.
Sure.
I'm just scared. I'm a touch scared that we're not going to see Hader and Hill, and the bullpen blows it. But the bullpen overall has good numbers, and it's not just because of two guys. Two guys play a big, massive part of that in Hader and Hill. But I'm going to hope that, just going to. I tell you what, this is also a chance. That Diamondbacks bullpen is obviously god-awful, I talked about. So I like the Padres. I like the Padres team total. It's going to be another spot where it could be a sneaky live right if Zach Allen steps up and wants to do what he is certainly more than capable of. All right, then I'll come into this game in the 6th inning and 7th inning and take like a Padres live money line or take a Padres live team total, something like that. I'm going to have my eyes on this game. That being said, I say I will, and I'll probably have my eyes closed, sleeping in bed. But if I'm awake, I would like to really live bet the Padres in some capacity up against this Diamondbacks bullpen for sure. So, Cardinals and Mariners with an over/under of 8. Cardinals at plus 110. Mariners at minus 130. Steven Matz up against George Kirby here. I'm going.
Mariners have a thing where they play better at home. Like they play really well. I don't know if that's still like the trend, but I don't know if you remember last year they were just mashing teams at home. I've never really been a big Steven Matz fan, so I guess I would expect runs from the Mariners, and the Cardinals have great bats, so I'll take an over 8.
I'm going the other way. Two teams I can't hit. Seattle's below the Mendoza line versus left-handed pitching at 188. Cardinals, boy, can start getting it done. I like under 8 in that one. Mets and Giants is the last game here with an over/under of 9. Mets come in at even money. Giants here at minus 120. Obviously, I have no idea what you're going to get from the Mets starter. Day Scalfani's he's been good. 3 starts into the season. He's been nice.
I like the Giants today on the money line.
Let me get a quick look at the bullpen numbers.
No. Okay.
Where is it?
Oh,
there we go.
And then hopefully that Lucchesi guy goes under the 4.5 strikeouts there.
I mean,
or was it 5.5?
I mean, I like that. It was at 4.5. I mean, you don't even know how much length this guy's getting. He hasn't made a start since 2021, right. So it's
you get 2-3 innings.
It's a very nice sneaky under. It's a very. Let's see what he did in his spring training. How much distance he went in spring training. I'm curious now. What's this cat's name? Joey something.
Joey Lucchesi. He's gotta be.
How can I type 2 letters and my phone already knows who the hell I want to look up?
That's technology, dude. That's Elon Musk, dude. That's.
No, I'm not on Twitter. I'm on Google. But still, like I literally did J-O and it filtered out Joey, whatever the hell this guy's name is.
Yeah. Did he even pitch in spring training, dude?
I
don't think he did.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking it up.
No, I'm saying I don't see it.
He did it. All right, so he's at 3 minor league starts. 3 minor league starts.
1 inning. 1 inning each game. 2 games, 1 inning.
Yeah, he's clearly coming off an injury, like I said. He went 4 innings, 5 innings, and 6.2. So they've clearly built him up in his 3 starts there in the minor leagues. He, did pretty good, but these are all, of course, minor league hitters. He's actually done pretty damn good in spring training. With the Mets having the better bullpen, I'll take the Mets as a dog today at plus whatever it was, plus 110. They've got big, not big, but they've got some nice bullpen advantages. So, yeah, I'll take the Mets. Plus 110.
Cool.
All right, that's how we're going to do it today there, fellas. In this MLB slate, do follow us on Twitter. Squirrel's always good for firing out bets. And I really feel like getting behind this Reds money line and really feel like possibly maybe adding a couple other things to it if it keeps grading out. So give a follow to me on Twitter too. Maybe I'll add something to these 3 bets. If not, guys, we want to make sure we enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you guys do have a good time and are able to enjoy it and hopefully be able to ring the cash register along the way. So thank you guys for spending another week with us here on the Payoff Pitch, live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We look forward to seeing you guys back here on Monday. Enjoy your weekend.
Yep. See you later.